What do Walter White and Walt Disney have in common? Stick around to find out. So thanks for checking us out. If this is your first time here, I recommend you go back to episode 1 and find out why I'm doing this. If you don't know why, you're only getting half the picture. So this episode is going to focus on the third stream of income that I'm going to try and develop as an extra source of income beyond what I normally earn. And it's going to focus on t-shirts. Now, in truth, I know nothing about making or selling t-shirts, but we're not going to let that stop us. But as with t-shirts, as there was with the cutting boards and the garbage sheds, there's a reason I'm picking t-shirts. And I think if I were to trace this one back, it would go back to Walt Disney World. Now, in the beginning, I said, what do Walt Disney and Walter White have in common? Well, it happens to be this. I saw this shirt while I was on vacation in Florida with my family. Now, for those of you who don't recognize the two parts, let me quickly explain. The top part is obviously the Mickey Mouse ears, and I think pretty much everybody on the planet recognizes those. The bottom part would probably only be recognizable to those of you who are fans of the show Breaking Bad. Now, the show Breaking Bad is about a high school chemistry teacher named Walter White. He's diagnosed with cancer and realizes he doesn't have enough money to leave his family for all their future needs. So he decides he's going to fix that problem by, well, selling crystal meth. Now, he partners up with one of his high school students to sell the drugs, and he manufactures them. The show sort of follows his progression through the criminal underworld until he's large enough and big enough and important enough that the Mexican cartels take note of him and decide that he needs to be assassinated. So they send 2 assassins up to kill him. And the only picture they have is a little black and white drawing that's got this portion of it on the bottom, and obviously not the Mickey Mouse ears on the top, but his trademark hat that he always wore when he was doing his drug work, and he was known as Heisenberg. So that's the picture that they send with the assassins in order to identify him and eventually kill him. So I'm standing in line in Florida in one of the rides, and you know how the lines sort of snake back and forth, and you can kind of see people that are kind of coming at you? Well, I see a guy wearing this shirt, and as soon as I saw it, I got it. I understood what the shirt was saying. Walter White made millions of dollars selling an extremely addictive substance to people who necessarily didn't have the money to be buying it. Walt Disney also sells something which many would argue is equally addictive. If you have kids out there and you've seen Frozen or Toy Story or The Incredibles or any of those kinds of movies, you know how addicted your kids can get to them. You might have a lunchbox that has Princess Anna on it, or you might have a backpack that has The Incredibles on the back. They promote and market and sell the heck out of every property that they own, making billions of dollars in the process. And I immediately got the connection that the shirt was trying to make. I went home trying to find if I could buy one, and apparently you can't. I guess Disney doesn't want to be associated with drugs, but what can you do? So I made my own. So that was the first shirt that I made that I thought, there's a shirt that I can wear. It's not just promoting some company or marketing some product. It's actually a shirt that has a message behind it if you're smart enough to sort of figure out what it is. So that was the first shirt that I made. The second shirt, which is this one, has a little bit more of a personal meaning to me than the other shirt. You see, my son in grades 5, 6, and 7 struggled mightily with anxiety. In fact, some mornings trying to get him to school were so bad that he would physically throw up because he was so anxious about the school day to come. Now, we tried all sorts of different things to help him get past it and understand it, and it's something that he probably still struggles with, although not as significantly as he used to, and something he'll probably struggle with for most of his life. But he's learned to manage it. But back in grade 5, 6, and 7, that wasn't the case. Now, around the same time, his favorite movies were the Mission Impossible movies starring Tom Cruise. And at one point in the movie, Tom Cruise has to identify himself to a courier and the courier to Tom Cruise. And they do it using this passphrase, and it goes like this. The courier says, "Fate whispers to the warrior." And Tom Cruise says, "There's a storm coming." And then the courier says, and the warrior whispers back. And then Tom Cruise says, "I am the storm." So my son caught on to this scene and really liked it. It's a very cool scene and very well done. Now, in the summers between grades 7 and 8, I'm sitting on my front porch, and my son is over sitting on some rocks not too far away, contemplating life and his navel and whatever else. And he comes wandering back, and he says, "Dad, listen to this." He says, "Anxiety whispers to the worrier, there's a storm coming." And the worrier whispers back, "I am the storm." And it was one of those moments as a parent where I realized how much he had been thinking about his situation and how much it was impacting him and what he could possibly do about it, sort of thing, right? It was just one of those aha kind of moments for me. So this was I think in mid or early August, and school started in September. So my wife and I thought, well, what if we got him a shirt printed up that looked like this one without the anxiety part written on it, because we were pretty sure he wouldn't want that being worn at school. But if we had a shirt like this done up, he could wear it to school just to remind him of the fact that he can actually think about these things and manage them himself. So we made this shirt, and I love it. I made him one and me one, and we both have them. So those were the first two shirts that I had wound up creating, and I've got a few more that I'm working on and things that I like that mean something to me. And these are the things that I'm going to try and sell. Now, as I said before, I don't know anything about making shirts or selling shirts. The making part, though, turns out isn't that difficult. For those of you who don't know, you can sell things on Etsy, but you have to have the product to sell. But there's companies out there that will print shirts on demand for you. In fact, you can create accounts at these places, put in the designs of the shirt that you want, and tell them if you want to print them on t-shirts or sweatshirts or hoodies or whatever the case may be. And then you can connect that directly to your Etsy store and import those designs into Etsy. Now, the great thing about this is what happens when someone places an order. It actually doesn't come to me. It actually goes to the company to print the shirt. The company prints it and ships it off to the customer. So I'm never involved. Once I've designed the shirt, all I have to do is focus on the marketing side of it, and then the rest of the process will essentially take care of itself. Now, that's not entirely true. There's going to be problems, and we'll have to deal with those. But it's very unlike the wooden cutting boards and the sheds in the sense that I'm not the production of the item. In this case, someone else is going to produce it. I just have to sell it, which is really appealing because it means that I don't have to invest my time in the production end of it. I can focus solely on the sales and the marketing. So in terms of my goals for sales for this one, I'm really not sure what to do. I might sell 0, or I might sell 1,000, or something in between. But what I think I'm going to do is just start out by getting 4 or 5 designs up in an Etsy store connected to a production partner that will actually make them for me, and then start test marketing a bunch of things just to kind of see what works and what doesn't work. So for the next video on t-shirts, here's what I'm going to have done. I'm going to get the Etsy store set up, and I'm going to connect it to a production partner and get 4 or 5 t-shirts designed that can connect directly to the Etsy store and populate it. I'll also probably spend a little bit of money on marketing just to test it out, just to kind of see what happens. So in the next video, I'll show you how I've done all that, the marketing that I've done, and what the results were for that marketing. So if any of that sounds like it might be interesting to you, I invite you to click the like button down below and the subscribe button, and then come back next week to see what we've been up to. Until then, have a great week.